Welcome back to Golang tutorials. This is Melody. So in the last episode we went through the different control statements. In the previous episode, in fact, we were going through switch, if and other ones. So if you haven't watched those episodes, please click on the link that's appearing here. In this episode we will go through functions. So directly we come into the editor because we don't have much things to show as an image, so we come in here. So what we do is, what is a function, what's signature of a function in Go. Like other languages, we have something called func. Func is the starting of a function. It denotes a function, func, and followed by a function name, something like my function. Okay, that's a name, and which is followed by the parameters which has to be passed, something like maybe I want to pass my name, so my name and string. So in Go we use mixed caps, so like the Java conventions, naming conventions, we use the same stuff here. Okay, just followed by the result set. Result set might be anything, it can be anything. Okay, I'm just returning an error. Okay, I think error is a really bad stuff. I will start with the string itself. Okay, and which is followed by the function's body. So to separate the function block, we use braces like C and other languages. So if you're familiar with Python, they use indentation. So when the guys who designed Go, they thought, okay, indentation might be a problem because many developers tend to oppose that. Okay, that's fine. Well, let's not go into the politics of the language. Okay, so this is the basic format of a function in Go. So let's write a function, and we have to give a package main. Okay, indirectly give the main function. Okay, let's give the role package main. Okay, then we give the main function. So you can see main is a function which is used by the compiler when a program is run. So in maybe in a particular big project, what it does, it look for the main package. There should be only one file which should have the main package main in a big project. So it's what it does is, like if you have done programming in other languages, you know that the compiler looks for the main file. Similarly here it looks for the package name main. It should only be in one file. Okay, that's must. So there will be a main function there. Okay, it's a main function. Here what we does is, okay, before that we'll specify another function, maybe func my first function, and we give name as string as a parameter, and we return name. Okay, string. It's not necessary that we put some brackets before, like the result set in brackets, not necessary, but when we can return multiple parameters, so in those cases this bracket might come handy, but it's not here, it's not necessary. Okay, so the error is we are not returning anything. Okay, return nil. Okay, nil is not the string. Okay, string is not an interface, so we'll just put something there. So what we do is, we'll return hello plus name. Okay, so that's it, that's my first function does. So we'll call my first function. Okay, fmt println my first function, we gave my name is Melvin. Okay, so we just run this program. What we get is, okay, it should show hello Melvin. That's obvious. So go run, what was name? Okay, here we have to go to the functions folder, go run function.go. So hello Melvin, it printed. So that's the basic working of a function. you might end up writing thousands of functions in a big program. Best of luck for that. So there is a convention, like if you are from a Java background, you might be using a weird names like the thing I used here, my first function. Actually, it's not required. We can shorten it something like my first fun. Okay, my first fun. That's enough. That's well enough, because every time I have to write this my first function, the full name, it might be very stupid. So even we can reduce this thing. Okay, we can put it my fun. That's also fine. So what goes tells us that if you make your functions shorter, that's better. Like if you can understand what your function mean, you needn't elaborately tell what your function does in the function name itself. So because at the end what decides the function is the package it comes from. If you have 2 or 3 functions with similar name, what it does is that it will check for the you can import those functions with using package. I will explain those things later, but as an introduction I will tell what happens is that it will use the package name. So whatever your function does, it is determined by the package where it comes from. So basically, if you do make your functions name bit longer, explaining all the details, what will happen, it will end up append as at the end. Okay, so that's a good practice as well. So next thing we'll put something like okay, one more thing. When you are importing something, that I think it might be very useful. If you are importing something from another package, okay, we'll make a new file. Maybe we will make a separate package. Not new file, we need a new folder there. Okay, my fn got a file, my fn.go. Okay, here we'll give a separate package, my fn. Okay, so in here we'll write this function. So if you want to import something from a package, here we created a package called myfn. If you want to import this function myfunc from this package, what we have to do is something like first for myfn dot. Okay, this is the it got stuck here. Maybe it's searching for the my fun. Okay, it's the first time you're writing the package, so it might take some time. Okay, it figured it out. So you have to make sure the first letter of your function is uppercase. That's a must if you want to import something. It's not only for the case of function, it is also must for the case of other variables. Anything you want to import, you have to make it with caps. Okay, so what's the basic difference between a function and a method? Okay, basically a function, if you are coming from some other language, OOP language, basically in Go is a OOP, has OOP concepts, but in Go there is something like we don't use classes, we use interfaces, and we make functions with receiver as interfaces. Okay, that's a method. We'll explain those when we are going through interfaces. So in Go, what a function means is that a function symbol, something like this, a function which has some parameters and return parameters, something like that, and optionally it returns something. Okay, that's what a function is. Okay, in this function you need to return something. You can return or you need not return. That's your, if you don't give anything and give something like print something, okay, you can do something like that also here. Okay, fmt print line. Okay, that is also fine here. I just demonstrating this. Okay, so here it might become a terrible idea to use the print line here. You can use something like this here. Okay, I think that's fine. This is also fine. This method can be also applicable. Let's check it out whether it works or not. It works. So you understood, you can use, you need in return something, it's optional. So what function is it has the definition like something like this that we discuss now. So for method, what Go considers is that if we give a receiver something like this, we can give something like this. Okay, maybe some receiver, maybe a, which is an empty interface. Okay, so this is a method. Okay, that's basically, I didn't explain the whole thing. Okay, let's leave it. So basically what we are doing is we are giving a interface through here. Okay, the definition should not be here, that was the issue. Okay, let's leave it there. Okay, so okay, I'll make it more conventional. Here is type a struct. Okay, we just leave it here. So we'll leave a. Okay, so it's fine. So what we are doing is we can call this my function something like this. Okay, we can call something b equal to a. Okay. So undefined a type define, I think. Okay, a should be something like my fn dot a. Okay, so we can put b dot. This is also applicable. So this is the way we use methods in Go. This is called a receiver. So what we pass a receiver to the function, like we pass a function to the as a receiver. So with to a, we can access a here in here itself. So this is also a method. This is a method now that we saw here. So this is the basic definition that makes difference between method and function in Go. So that's pretty much about functions. So let's look some of the features of functions. So we'll use one of the cool feature of Go is that you can return multiple stuff. Okay, you can return something like a string. Also you can return int. Okay, we'll return hello world. Okay, also you return 1. Okay, so the cool feature about Go is it can return multiple values. So it might have inspired this from the scripting language like JavaScript, Python. Those were you might even think it is a great feature, because I remember my days programming in C where I had to pass so much parameters, where I had to use maybe some structures or big monolithic structures, and sometimes I had to pass a lot of arrays, and it was a painful time for me then. But now it's been so cool because Go allows passing multiple things. So that's why another thing that we can cool thing about Go is that we can pass variadic arguments. Okay, so we'll write a function here from variadic. Okay, my var. So what we does is that values int, so we can pass as many. Let me just give a value. Okay, we'll put some values here. We can pass as many as values as we want. Okay, we'll range something like that, value equal to range values. Basically values will return an array, so we can iterate through it and we can return it. Okay, we can do something like total equal to 0. That's pretty good. Okay, total plus equal to v, and end return v. Sorry, total, my bad. Okay, so we can call this we can call something like this, fmt print line. What was it, by the way? My fn dot my var. We can variably give something 1, 2, 3. Okay, As per my math, it should give 6. Okay, it gave 6. So that's the using of variadic arguments. We can give as many as arguments. If you remember this print line, it gives variadic arguments. We can give as many arguments as we want. So that's a pretty cool feature that we have seen but we hadn't noticed. So that's all. That's all the with functions in Go. So I think this is pretty good. If you have any queries, just comment below and let me know if there is some suggestions, something like that. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. So thanks guys, love and peace, bye.